week here at SMU. Volleyball team is going to host 2 games on Thursday, Friday. We have our first ACC basketball game in SMU history Saturday. Our soccer team has an Elite Eight hosting, which is incredible, and then our football team is in the ACC championship. So what a big week for SMU athletics. Congratulations to the other teams. It's really special. We'll be following them, but we have a big game on Saturday, our first ACC game against Virginia.
What did you think overall today?
I thought we started the game out a little sluggish defensively. We gave some offensive rebounds, and then they made some tough shots. We tightened our defense up the last 10 minutes of the first half and then played pretty well in the second half. So really happy with our sharing the basketball. We had 7 players in double figures, which I think is a first for us. And we shared the ball and played pretty hard, especially in the last 30 minutes of the game.
What do you think you learned from Boopy as much as it was a struggle for him offensively tonight? Even though I think he tied for team high in assists with 5. But what did you learn about him in a game like this?
Well, he's been a big-time player for our leading scorer and lead us in assists. So he was not one of the 7 guys in double figures, which is a little surprising. But he missed some wide-open threes in the first half. And what we learned is you have to play the right way for 40 minutes. He took a couple tough layups in the second half where he was contested. He probably should have passed it. But then when he did start to pass, he had 5 assists and played really well. So we're not concerned about Boopy. He's a terrific basketball player, and he'll make those open shots on Saturday.
I guess what I meant by that is that just because of his floor leadership and the fact that he keeps playing despite the fact that he's struggling, is that something you take from that as well?
Yeah, he's a competitor, and we didn't expect anything differently. But he played great in the desert, was the MVP of that tournament for us, and he just had an off night shooting the ball tonight. So we love his leadership and he leads by example.
Alabama State shot a ton of threes. Obviously, a bunch of them went in, but overall, what did you think of the way your team played on the defense?
Well, they only made 3 in the second half, which was good. They made 10 in the first half. Like you said, the last 3 they took, one was from 28, 30 feet with a hand in his face. And so our players started to adjust and really challenge and run them off the three-point line. If they did shoot it, they had to shoot over us. And they made a few of them. But that's the key when you play a team that you have a size advantage. They try to spread you out, use their quickness, using shooting ability, because the three-point line can be a great equalizer to size if you're making threes all game. And in the first half, they did that.
As you get ready for ACC play, what have you learned or where have you seen the team grow the most from game 1 to now?
Well, the first couple games, we didn't have Matt Cross. He was injured. He was out for about almost 2 weeks. And Smet wasn't playing at the time. He was not eligible. So it's really nice to have Matt. Even when we played Butler, Matt was not healthy. He tried to play, didn't play very well, and Smet was just getting acclimated. So we're a different team right now than we were early in the season. Better team. We've improved in a lot of areas, but this team still has a big upside. We can still improve, and I think they had never played together. They'd never been under pressure together. Never had a close game together until recently. So they're starting to learn, figure things out. I thought the tournament in Palm Springs was terrific because we had a really close game the first game and had to grind it out. Last possession, and then Washington State, we were down at halftime. We're not playing. We missed 14 layups in the first half, and then came out and just really defended and started and won by 17. So I think this team is learning how to play together, and once you go through a couple games that you have to defend and it's very intense, you grow from that.
Coach, congrats on the win tonight. You're now 9 games into the season. You're going into your first ACC action. On your own personal timeline, how are you feeling entering conference play on Saturday after these first 9 games?
We feel great. We think our team's improved. We understand what it takes to win as a group, and we also understand how good Virginia is and how talented and well coached they are, and they've been one of the best programs in the ACC the last 10, 15 years, and so we know we have our hands full Saturday, but we feel great. We're playing confident basketball, and we're playing pretty well.
What's the key to they're a much different style team, probably than you've seen maybe since North Texas in the secret scrimmage, as far as grinding things out. So what does that mean over the next few days that you got to prepare your team for?
Well, I think we're second or first in the ACC in scoring, and we like to push the pace and spread the floor and really try to get a great shot quickly or early in the offense, but take a great shot. Virginia is more methodical, and they play at a slower pace, but are very, very efficient, very good. So there's a lot of ways to try to win a college basketball game, and there'll be probably two different styles on Saturday.
Do you have the type of team, sorry, Steve, that can win a game different ways, just based on the depth we saw today?
I guess we'll find out. We did it against Washington State. We held them to 60 points, and that was a very physical and tough second half. And we're very proud of our players. We defended at the highest level we have all season in that second half, and we're able to win by 17 after being down 4 at halftime. So to answer your question, we just did that in the desert. But every team you play is a little different style, and Virginia is certainly different than us.
Andy, is that last 20 minutes against Washington State kind of a microcosm of what you think this team is capable of doing during the course of the season, or what can it do further?
Well, it starts with defense. Our offense is ahead of our defense and has been. We're very talented. You have 7 guys in double figures tonight, and we're scoring 90 points a game. So our offense, and we're sharing the ball. We only had 8 turnovers tonight, so as many possessions that we've created, to only have 8 turnovers is pretty good. I thought we really took care of the ball. Washington State, I think we had 1 or 2 turnovers in the second half, and when the game was on the line, we had to be efficient. I think we scored 8 out of our last 10 possessions. So we have grown in certain areas, and but we have some things we have to clean up defensively. We know because we're big, we start a big lineup, that sometimes quicker teams have an advantage with us getting in the lane or getting downhill towards the rim, and then we have to rotate or we have to help. But that's our decision to go big. And but what that has done the last few games, we've been very dominant on the rebounding and the backboard and in the paint. I think we doubled. I think we had a 20-plus rebound advantage against Washington State. Tonight we had a 22-point rebounding advantage. So, like I said, there's a lot of ways to try to win a college basketball game, and we start a big lineup, and then sometimes we'll go small and move Matt to the 4 and play a little smaller with 4 guards.
With 11 or 12 minutes left, Cario had a stretch of, I think it was 10 points in a minute and a half with a dunk and a reverse and a couple of threes. When someone's that hot, do you give the green light to shoot almost no matter what?
Well, they called a play for him, and he shot it, and he made it. So as long as that thing goes in, he has a green light. But he was spectacular in that stretch. Really fun to watch. He's improved a lot. He's improved. If he tried to take a charge tonight, he tried to take a charge last game. Hasn't gotten one yet, but they keep calling a blocking foul. But I don't think he ever has he's never been credited with a charge in his career. So I'm just joking, but I'm guessing. But really proud of him because he's making an effort to affect winning. Forget about the scoring, playing defense, rebounding, trying to be an early help on defense and running the floor, and he's doing the little things that make us a good team.
You mentioned Matt Cross had the back spasm, a minute into your opener or whatever, and then missed 3 games, I think. So he gives you another double-double tonight. So effectively, he's a little bit behind his teammates. What do you think of his development and his sort of evolution within your system this year?
Well, he started to play really good basketball. That's why he had double-digit rebounds last week as well, and he had 7 offensive rebounds against Washington State, and that's just huge to give us extra possessions, especially in a close game like that, as it was for most of the game. And so he's an elite rebounder, and he's starting to get a feel of playing inside and outside because most of his career he's been very comfortable 12 feet and in and trying to back guys down, use his size. And now we're demanding him to start on the wing and play at the 3-point line, but you play inside and outside, and he's done a really good job of trying to figure that out, has improved.
It's been very clear for the first 9 games, the pace. And you guys are really trying to pick it up. You're playing extremely fast. Going into the ACC, is that what you'd like to see continue? Do you think that's possible, understanding that we jump up here on the level of talent game in game now? Is that kind of the identity of the offense and the transition with primary that you're looking at?
Yeah, that's what we try to do. And when you play fast, you can't turn the ball over. Like tonight we had 8 turnovers, which is outstanding. But you also can't take bad, quick rush shots that are contested. So we want to play as fast as we can, but work for the best shot possible. And so even we'll take if we have a wide open three after 3 seconds, we'll take it. If we have a drive to the basket, so we don't care when that is in the shot clock, but we have to try to work for the best shot possible. And where we've struggled this year offensively is when we take tough contested shots, either driving in the lane and flipping, but like we missed 12 layups in the first half against Washington State, and some of those were tough shots. And so we just have to keep working and push the pace as what we can. But we also understand we're playing within a system, but when it's time to slow down and get your big guys the ball, you have to do that as well.
But there was that stretch too, like you were mentioning too about Quendo with that stretch of 8, 10 points or whatever. But Smith had that too in the first stretch too, about 7 straight. Is that the way you want this offense to work though, Andy, in terms of somebody has great looks that if you get him on, if he gets on a roll, you can get him 7, 8 stretch points just like that.
Yeah, that comes from teammates understanding what's happening on the floor. I thought our guys recognized Samet and then Cario, and Chuck had called 2 straight plays for Cario when it had it rolling, and he scored 2 more times. And so it's really the guys on the court that can recognize that. And I thought the same thing with Samet, where we had gone to him and he scored a couple of times, got fouled, and then in transition we threw the ball to him 2 more times. And so it was good to see our guys recognize who was hot at the right time.
You mentioned, was it 6, 7 guys in double figures tonight, and obviously if one guy gets hot, that's not going to happen if you keep feeding the hot hand. But as a coach, do you prefer or get gratification from knowing you can get offensive contributions from that many people on the same night?
Yeah, to have 7 guys in double figures is very rare, and very proud of our players for sharing the basketball. And we have talented scorers on our team. As I said, our offense is ahead of our defense. If you look at the efficiency and the national numbers, and within the league, we score the ball at a pretty high rate. Defensively, we have to keep improving, but to know that you have, as a coach, to have options, you don't have to run the same plays for 2 guys the whole game. You have the ability to mix it up, and I think it's harder to guard that way.
I wouldn't say I'm surprised, just because we have so many offensive threats, and we have a lot of older guys. And one of the good things with coming with experience is just knowing how to play. We have a lot of guys who have reached big milestones over their careers. We have a lot of scorers and a lot of offensive threats that, you could just go on and on. Even guys that don't always show it. We just got like anybody at any given night could kind of go off on offense. So it's not really surprising to me.
Piggyback what he said, got a bunch of older guys, and I said it in my interview on the court. When you got older guys, you kind of know how to play and you know the game a lot. So like you said, anybody can go off at any given time and any night. So I think we're just starting to learn how to share the ball a lot, and knowing that your brother gonna have your back. If you make one more pass, you might get it back. So
You had a stretch there in the second half where you had 10 points in a minute and a half, and you looked like you were obviously feeling good. You started skipping after one of them. Did that timeout that they took after that come at a bad time? Were you hoping to just keep shooting and not take a breath?
Well, yeah, I definitely would have liked to just keep, getting them up. But I think after that, got a little bit tired, and I didn't want to just start just throwing stuff up. So, it was good to get hot for the time it was, and, it was good for the team, got our energy up.
I gotta ask, with the fro and number 8, is it like a little Mamba mode you just went into? That
I like to think so, but, I don't want to.
Shout out to Kobe.
Matt, how are you feeling tonight? As far as, coming off some of those back spasms and things that you've been dealing with, would you say you're pretty close to 100% at this point?
Yeah, no, I'm feeling good. It's more been just conditioning for me, getting my conditioning back. But, coaches make sure to keep me in practice, and, we get up and down a lot. And so I feel like I'm kind of getting where I should be.
I asked Coach Enfield, as you guys get ready for Virginia conference play, where do you guys feel like you've grown the most from game 1 to where you are now?
I would say from game 1, we had a bunch of new guys and new coaches and just a new program. I think it's finally starting to get to the point where we're figuring out how to play as a team. And now I think it's you can kind of see it from game to game. Each game, realizing that we're getting better. Every practice, we're getting better, moving the ball along with each other. So I would say that's really just it. the more games you play together, the more it's gonna start stringing together.
When you put up 100+, it's easy for us to ask you about the offensive end, but what did you guys think of your team's defensive performance tonight?
I think that we definitely have to get better. Our three-point defense. They did get up a lot, but you know we gotta get out on those, and that's kind of something that we've been trying to emphasize as late here in the season. But I think overall, you know, we're getting better. The more we get to know each other, the same kind of answer that he gave for the offense is kind of similar to the defense. The more you get to know each other, all sides of the ball kind of start to click. You start to have each other's back. You know, guys' tendencies when he gets beat here, when to rotate, and that's just all coming of getting to get to know each other.
Matt, is there a different mentality you have to take when you flip, switching from the 3 to the 4 in terms of what Coach Enfield wants from you on both ends of the floor, or how do you see that?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, with Enfield's offense, everything's can be kind of interchangeable depending on what we're doing. But yeah, I would say so because you know defensively you're guarding a big now, and you know you're not necessarily on the wing on offense. You kind of dribble handoffs and some screens and stuff like that. So I think so, but I try to just either way keep the mentality of you know play as a team and try to play aggressive in terms of you know just hunt rebounds whether I'm the 4 or the 3, and because we had the 3, 4, and 5 always crash. So I kind of try to keep the same mentality, but you know every play is different.
Carrier, before the season, Coach talked about how he wanted to get your confidence up, and now with this the 4th game in a row scoring in double figures for you, where would you rank right now your confidence at currently?
It's been pretty high. I think mostly because me and him we had a conversation like after I think one of our games, and he was just kind of telling me that like I'm a good player, like and the offense is gonna come eventually. So just he wanted me to go out there and focus on my defense, focus on the things that I would say that I needed to work on, and I think with that kind of gave me a lot more confidence to start shooting the ball better, start making them more like offensive plays and defensive plays as well. So I would say it's pretty high right now. Try to keep it at a good standpoint.
To piggyback off of that, Coach was talking about you on the defensive end. Last couple of games, you've tried to draw a couple of charges, and the whistle hasn't gone your way. But what have you been trying to tighten up on the defensive end in order to contribute on both ends of the floor?
Mostly just being in the right spot. Sometimes, like as a defender, like you can get caught up in guarding your guy. I think the last couple of games I've been in the right spot, like helping my teammate out or getting to the rim, things like that. Just trying to give a little bit more effort on that end because all that defense, all it is really effort. I think you could be the best defender in the gym, even if you're not the best athlete in the gym, just by trying harder than the next guy. So.
Carrier, you played majority of your college career already in 2 major power conferences. You played in a lot of big games. Going into ACC play now, do you look around the room and feel as though, you know, you're there as that support, almost that mentality as senior leadership in a sense to some of these guys who have not been through some of those wars that you have? How do you view yourself in that role here at SMU getting ready to go to the ACC?
Like, yeah, definitely. Like you said, like trying to just kind of tell the guys, like we're going to be in these big games and you got to kind of come in with a different mindset. Like you got to come in with the same mindset, but you got to be a little bit different because you're going to play every other game we play now. We might play some NBA guys or some playing like Duke and things like that, North Carolina. Like you got to be prepared to go in and this margin of error is very small in those games. So just come in and try to tell the guys that. And I think once we get a couple games in and we kind of see how it is, I think it'll be good for us.